You're next. Okay. I wasn't prepared for this, but I'll wing it because I'm good at that. I'd like for a good friend of mine to come forward. We'd like to give a small presentation to this person who's done a lot for Carroll County. Most of Carroll County folks here and those that aren't here who've ever entered into a library know of something this lady has done. And she's a true friend. She's a personal representative of Carroll County who has made Carroll County great over the past 14 years. She's finally going to join the ranks with me and retire and live our golden years gracefully. So I'd like to welcome to the podium my friend and your Executive Director, Len Wheeler. So I won't read this because she's had one of these earlier this week, but all of you from Carroll County know what she's done for Carroll County as the Executive Director for the past 14 years, how the library has grown, how they have their own headquarters in New Windsor, the new library in Finksburg, and we could go on and on. So without further ado, I give to you my friend, your Executive Director, Len Wheeler.
Thank you all very, very much. I'm truly very honored. It has been a great blessing and delight to work in Carroll County and get to know so many fabulous people. And again, the things that we have done are only possible because of the support we get from the county, the commissioners, the staff, the wonderful partners. Working together, we've achieved a lot. And this is a great honor, and I'm very, very thankful. Thanks so much.
Mr. Kevin Kraft, not sure where I finally found a home for you. Can you come up? While he's coming up, could the Knights of Columbus stand and your representative come up? While he's making his way up here, there is, next to Wawa off of 140, there is a historically black cemetery there. And one of our members had taken care of it for years, and then he became ill and had to have his leg amputated. So there was some neglect that was taking place there. And we were all asking each other, who's mowing the grass? Who's caring for this cemetery? Because it looked beautiful. We find out later the Knights of Columbus of St. Bartholomew was doing that. They saw the need, they addressed the need. They knew no one that was buried there. So back in May, Memorial Weekend, working with the church that cemetery belonged to, Union Memorial Baptist Church, and the Knights, and the Community Foundation, NAACP, and several other organizations, that cemetery was rededicated. It was established in December 21st, 1876, by 6 U.S. Army veterans, because they wanted a place for the black people to be buried, well, colored as we were called in that time, in the county. So we just want to thank you for all that you have done. They asked for no funds. they just went ahead and did that. So it was a pleasure meeting all of you and working with you, especially Dan, on this cemetery project.
We're honored. Thank you. Thank you so very much. We appreciate it.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kevin Kraft. I'm with the Governor's Office of Community Initiatives. And I'm here today representing the Lieutenant Governor, who was unable to make it. They're kind of busy, but they're always busy. They're running for things. But it's my pleasure to be here. I'm not running for anything. I was just appointed, so I get free dinner sometimes. But thank you all for being here. And my purpose, or one of the purposes for me being here, is to recognize the Knights of Columbus and for the wonderful job they've done. I have a governor's citation here. I'm going to read it real quickly. It is State of Maryland, Governor of the State of Maryland to Knights of Columbus, St. Bartholomew Council, number 9127. Greetings. Be it known that on behalf of the citizens of this state, in recognition of your commitment to the founding principles of charity, unity, fraternity, and patriotism, as evidenced by your efforts to maintain the historic Ellsworth Cemetery that was created by Union Army veterans in 1876 to serve as a burial ground for, quote, the colored residents of Westminster, unquote, for this particular act, among many others that have strengthened the sense of community in Carroll County, we are pleased to confer upon you this governor's citation.
So, as a representative of the Knights of Columbus, we are deeply honored for this recognition. We are a Catholic church. We're a fraternal organization in the Catholic Church. Started many years ago. We're now a worldwide organization. Not many people know about us. We just go about doing the things that we do, and whether it's taking care of the Ellsworth Cemetery, we help out with the Habitat for Humanity. We run golf tournaments and provide funds to NAACP and to Tender Care, the Fisher House. It doesn't matter. There are just millions of activities that the Knights of Columbus supports. We normally don't look for recognition, but we really appreciate this. It's a great group of men, and as was noted, you know, the unity, the charity, the fraternity, the fellowship, patriotism, that's what we're all about. So thank you all very much.
She got an award the other day at the what do you call that thing? Philanthropist of the Year, and she was it was well deserved. She's quite the student. She's quite the young lady. She's quite the leader. And the honors bestowed upon her, as I said previously, were well deserved. We're glad to have her hosting the program tonight. And just one more time, I'm going to ask you to give Jordan Costley a great big hand. I am going to give out an award that is related to education. Education and young people just happen to be my passion. Along with Jordan, if you look around the room, you will see quite a few young folks here tonight. Too often, we pick up the paper, We read about somebody shooting somebody that was 16, 17, 13, or 14 years old. Too often we pick up the paper and we read about somebody that age who overdosed. Too often we pick up the paper and we read where some young person has murdered his whole family. Recently in the news, a 13-year-old girl disappeared. All of these negative things grace the front page of the news media. And we attentively sit and become engrossed in that negativity. But not often enough do we pick up the paper and read a story about a Jordan Costley. Not often enough do we pick up the paper and read about Vaughn Palin's children who have participated in a lot of things. We have not picked up the paper and read about the two young men who got up here and gave the welcome. But you see, there's an awful lot of students who do things like this, but we fail to mention. We fail to acknowledge, because for some strange reason, we are drawn to the negative side of our society. For some strange reason, we have to follow the bad boys. We are fascinated by the horrors that goes on in our community. 20 people will pick up a paper, an article, and read about somebody getting shot. 2 people will pick up the paper and read about Jordan Costley. I'm going to get off of my horse now because I can ride that horse all night long. When I became president of the NAACP, my first obligation was to develop a continuing education fund for young, unfortunate, and African-American students who were very, very low in the classroom, not academically, but in numbers. Received very few scholarships, though many qualified. I was successful in starting what's known as a continued education fund for branch 7014, which is Westminster. That, from its inception, we had a couple of people who took an interest in supporting, economically supporting, the education fund. Tonight, we want to honor one of those people who unfortunately has passed on. And so far as I'm concerned, he supported education here on earth, and he's supporting education in heaven. I want to call upon, and I don't know their names, but I want to call upon the sons of Douglas E. Metz. Would you come forward, please? You know, every year we can rely financially on Doug Metz and his wife, Cindy Powell, to support our continuing education fund. And we're given to understand, even though he has passed on, that support will continue. And we hope that in the future, along with their support and the efforts of the branch, that we can give not just one, but as we did this past year, we gave 2. We give out one for the outstanding student, and we gave another to the student that we felt didn't have all A's, didn't have all B's, didn't have a 4.0, but that student had the effort, the desire. And so we supported that student, and we hope we can continue to do so in the future. Gentlemen, it is on behalf of the Carroll County branch of the NAACP that we would like to present to you, in honor of your father, Douglas E. Metz, this token of our appreciation for all of his services, financially and otherwise, to this organization's education fund.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Tamara Powell, Anita Lewis, and Stacy Schaefer, please come forward. While they're coming, I just want to tell you there's part of their story. Tamara and Anita, their grandparents, after slavery, established a Freeman Bureau School in Union Bridge. And that school, also there was a church, and that took place 1867, right after slavery. And it went on to 1997. Well, there was a congregation out of, a Methodist congregation out of Delaware, and they wanted to take that property. And these young ladies said, not on your life. So from 2012 to last year, they fought in court to maintain that school. And their attorney was Stacy Schaefer, who took this case on as though it was part of her life. She took it on and did it pro bono. And we just want to recognize them. Now, one of the things that happened this summer, well, June, I think the 2nd or 3rd, we had a tour, a historical tour of sites in Carroll County. And we took that tour, and we went to several places in the county, and we went up to that church building and got the history of that, and we also went to the school. And it was so exciting. Everyone who went on that tour have raved about how well that tour was done and how these ladies had maintained that church building. So we just want to give you an award for what you have done, all three of you, to take care of this, and their husbands, because it was a 2-year fight. And it's really good to know that they were able to maintain that. So that historical part of the county belongs to them. So it was indeed in trust to them. Thank you.
I just wanted to add very quickly, I have citations for each of the ladies as well. They don't have the narrative in them, so I'm not going to read them. But to dovetail on what the gentleman was saying, that is what we at the Governor's Office of Community Initiatives live for. It's the best part of our job, is recognizing anyone who's doing things to better or improve their community in any way. So by all means, if you know of someone who's doing a great job, like our host, bring it to us. I have plenty of cards in my pocket. I'll hand them out. Contact us. We'd love to come out and recognize them. It doesn't always mean a citation. It might just be one of us showing up and smiling for pictures, but we definitely want to recognize them. So thank you for that. And there you are.
I'm going to be brief. I just want to say that it is an honor and a pleasure to be here amongst all of you tonight. And I want to thank you, Madam President, for this honor and recognizing Bowens Chapel and School. As with anything, we certainly didn't do this alone. We had so much community support. And particularly, I want to recognize our Quaker friends at the Pipe Creek Meeting House in Union Bridge, Mr. and Mrs. Bill Powell, no relation, but family nonetheless. They signed on to the lawsuit, as did Jim Rao of the Union Bridge Area Heritage Committee. Who signs up for a lawsuit? Who does that? But they did, and they did it. And it just shows their character and their commitment to what is right and what is just. And I am just so grateful. And I also want to express my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to Stacy Schaefer and Schaefer Law, I get choked up when I think about her, of Westminster, Maryland. I am proud and honored to share the stage with you. She was relentless. She was persistent. She was determined. And without her and without all of our friends that supported us, we wouldn't be standing here tonight in this victory that we are being honored for tonight. And I'm just so grateful. And last, but certainly not least, I want to thank and recognize my husband, Mike. Mike loves Bowens. Mike loves Bowens. Mike has been mowing and whacking those weeds up there for since, I don't know, 2010. He replaces broken windows and siding, and the place gets power washed, and the reason it looks so beautiful is because of Mike's love and commitment to the church, and I'm just so happy for your support and just so grateful to you. I thank you.
The beautiful decorations we have up here, the lady in the white, our daughter-in-law, is the one who always decorates for us, and she does a fantastic job.
Tell people. If I could have Dr. Daphne Green come up here for me and sing for me.
Okay. First, giving honor to God. At this time, everyone can participate. And you, will you please stand when we sing the Negro National Anthem? Lift every voice and sing. And may I direct you to the projector. Sing real loud so you won't have to hear me. I can't see. Lift every voice and sing.
you.